Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool wooden wall telephone, and this is Dan's telephone from MA. And so basically what we're going to be doing with this telephone is we're going to try to save the original receiver and transmitter on the inside of these units, but if we can't, we're going to upgrade them. And so this telephone has a magneto in it, but when you crank it, it does not ring the bells at this time. So we're going to have to go through all of that, and this is the initial checkout of this telephone. I want to give you a look at the inside. Now, it does say Western Electric on the magneto, but on the box itself it says 305 AC, and then there's some other writing for like the line and everything. What we're going to be doing to this telephone is installing a circuit so that when you crank the magneto and ring the bells, we don't backfeed any voltage into the telephone line. We also want to get rid of all the old lines hanging out of this telephone that it was hooked up to, and we want to install a modular port so that Dan can walk up to this telephone and simply plug any length, any color line cord he chooses into it, and so that'll be a nice clean plug-and-play connection. We also want to go through this telephone, rewire it the way we need to. We want to make sure that the handset or the receiver capsule line is in good shape, and we'll have to go through the whole telephone. We're going to take a short break. We'll get some video of this as we move along in the repair of it, and we'll get some still pictures of this also. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we are in the middle of the process of repairing this bell. And so basically what we had to do, and it's a very difficult repair because you have to go back into the coils, and I'll try to show you this real quick. I don't know that the video's picking it up, but you have to go back into the coils and find the coil wire. And it's a very difficult repair because you can't damage the coil at all. You don't want to damage it. So basically I've put the covering back over where I went into the coil, and we'll secure that with an epoxy. And so now we've went in and captured our coil lines, and we've brought them over and resoldered them to our connections. And so when we go to hook this bell up, there'll be another screw. We're missing one over here because somebody's got solder there, but we'll either solder or put a screw on it or whatever. So now the coils have been repaired, and we want to put this magnet back on the unit. So we'll go ahead and start that, and then we'll do a test on this. We want to tighten that down. Want to get it straight. Make sure that's proper. Now, we're not going to bounce back and forth a lot with the clapper because the bells are not on it. We're just doing a quick test. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the analyzer now and I'm going to ring it. I'm going to let that go 2 more times. So now we can reinstall our solenoids back into the bell box and put our bells back on. Now these are like 3-inch bells, so this telephone is going to have really a beautiful ring to it, I'm sure. So we're going to take a short break. Okay, we're back now, and we are finished up with a repair and conversion of this telephone. And so we're going to kind of run through a little bit of everything that went on. Dan wanted to save as much original equipment on this telephone as he could, so we went through the receiver, which is original, and made sure that everything was working properly there, and the receiver cord. We also went through the original transmitter and made sure everything was working and everything was okay and proper with that. So we were able to save the receiver and the transmitter. We also, earlier in the video, showed that we went into the solenoid of the bells and repaired the solenoids. And so we also adjusted the bells, and everything is working there. So we want to show you the inside. And we also installed a modular port so that Dan can simply walk up to this telephone and bring a line cord in, any length, any color he chooses, and plug it right in, and that makes for a simple, easy, clean connection. And so we had to go through the magneto and make sure everything was working properly there, and that was oiled and adjusted and taken care of. We also had to rewire what we needed to rewire for this telephone to work the way we need it to work. So we're going to go ahead and do our final checks now. I'll go ahead and shut the door. What we want to do is I want to ring the bells with the magneto. And that circuit is up in the back here on the left-hand side. There's a circuit that we create and install so that when you crank the magneto and ring the bells, you're not backfeeding voltage into the telephone line. And so also when you get a call or ring cycle comes in, the bells will ring. So now what we want to do is we want to ring the bells with the analyzer. I'm going to let that go one more time. Give you some dial tone. So now what we want to do is, if I tap on the transmitter and you see this red light on the analyzer, every time I tap on that transmitter, that's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. So you can see that the transmitter is working. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch the switch box over to a regular line, and when I push this button, what's going to happen is it's going to totally take out the analyzer from the situation and give us a line out. Now we're going to call a time and temp number with a tone dialer, and basically what's going to happen is you're going to hear, the recording's going to start, and then you're going to hear a loud hum. And they're having problems with their equipment. It's on their end. It has nothing to do with what we're doing. So we'll go ahead and switch the switch box. I want to give you some dial tone. We'll use our tone dialer.
Good evening. Today is Monday, September 2nd. The time is 10:30. Current temperature 80 degrees. Clear tonight and Tuesday. Low tonight upper 50s to mid 60s. Tuesday high 82.
Okay. So we know that the transmitter's working because the tone dialer sends a tone through the transmitter, and the telephone company picks it up and then passes the tone and gives us our phone number. So if the transmitter was not working, what would happen is it would have never recognized those tones, and it never would have passed it, and we wouldn't have got our number. So we know that this telephone has receive, transmit, the bells are ringing when you crank the magneto. We'll switch the switch box, and we know they're ringing when our analyzer throws in a ring cycle. Now these are like 3-inch bells, so they have a very nice sound to them. I'll let it go one more time and we'll give you some dial tone. So now that we know that this telephone has been repaired and converted, we can return it to Dan and he can enjoy this telephone. It's just a really cool telephone, and I'm sure it's going to look great wherever it's mounted. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.